Hello, hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to the intuitive card reading for the week of March 3rd through 9th, which makes it the first full week of March. Okay, awesome, guys. You know what to do. Please like this video. Please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies and influences of the week. I like that word, influences. I heard somebody use the term, so I just basically adopted it or copying it, if you will. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And what else? Comments down below. I just ask that you be kind. Would love to hear how this reading resonates with you. And I think that's it. Four decks that I've been using the last few readings. Shuffled, obviously. Different order. Can't guarantee, but this order feels intuitively good for this reading. Pretty sure it is a different order, but again, my memory is terrible. But anyway, guys, let's go see what we have going on for this week. All right, we have need, generosity. Okay, so we need to be generous. We need to be, oh, you know how I feel about these cards folding over. Hopefully you guys could see it. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right, that's the best I'm going to do. All right, generosity. So we need to be generous. The feeling to be generous, more giving. This, in my opinion, is a good sign because this means that, Spirit would never tell us to, give from an empty cup kind of situation, because that's not good advice at all. It's not good energetic advice for sure. So the fact that we're feeling like we need to give more or do more, means that we are not necessarily, as I like to call it, in survival mode so much anymore, right? Where we're feeling like we want to give back and we want to do more and we want to be more generous with our, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's energy. We want to give more, right? And this is I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't felt this energy a ton. Not to say that we haven't gotten that card in a while or similar type energy, but the fact that it came under need really is a really good sign, especially for, the people out there that feel like they've been in survival mode and they've just been getting by, quote unquote, just getting by and, having the bare minimum. This basically points to maybe you're getting to a place where you're not necessarily there anymore, right? And where you have the ability to give more. Sorry about the ambulances. I know it always interrupts us, but I appreciate everybody's patience with that. Usually it goes by pretty quick. All right, what do we need? Action needed. All right, thinker. Okay, I've been getting this a lot, I think, if I could recall. This is basically using more of a logical approach. I think we got in one of the dailies. If you guys follow me on YouTube or Instagram, it's definitely talking about using your thought process, being a lot more thoughtful in that area, meaning like thinking through your decisions, using more logic over emotions, that kind of thing. So basically it's saying action needed is that we need to be bringing more logic and doing more research and using that part of ourselves, right? Because we have we have an intuitive side, but then we have the more logical side, and neither one is better than the other, even though I'm a little biased personally on the intuitive side. But let me just tell you, coming from a brain injury, intellect is important, okay? So I would do anything to get my full functioning brain back. So yeah, so basically it's saying that we need to kind of use our noggin, okay? The 44 stands out to me too. 44 is always about foundation. So it's about building the foundation. So this might have something to do with setting up a foundation of some kind. I know this reading is for the collective out there, but if anybody's moving out there or starting something new this week or soon, because building foundation is like starting something that will last for like a long time and that you get to build on top of. Think of like a foundation of a house, right? So basically it's saying think through those things, right? Don't necessarily rush to decisions. Make sure it's methodical. Your thought process is methodical, and it's more strategic, and it's more about using your brain, and using that part of yourself. I never discount intuition, but this is what Spirit is saying, that maybe the decision that we need to make this week really does need to have some logical components to it, right? Okay. What's an issue? Martyr. Okay, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Interesting. Okay, so it's in the light, but it's under issue. And it's very interesting that we're getting this energy because kind of similar to the generosity card, where I'm feeling like you guys want to give back, you want to do more, right? And so, so the martyr in the light is doing things for a good cause, being generous for a good cause. But we're having issues with it, so that's very interesting, because it's basically saying we want to do it, we need to do it, but we're having issues where it's hard for us to kind of get into that mindset, get into that archetype. Now, this could be a mental block. This could be something where we're uncomfortable in some way, shape, or form. This is an interesting energy because it basically, it's really counterintuitive to what we actually need. So that's, in my opinion, what makes it hard, right? So we're having issues getting into the giving spirit, right? We need to be more generous, but we're having issues getting to the giving spirit, into that mode. And it may have been, just throwing it out there, I just mentioned survival mode, that we are used to hoarding our resources because we didn't have enough, or we've been in scarcity, right? And we've been in kind of like a scarcity mindset. Now we're having trouble getting into that abundance mindset, and that's not a bad thing. It's just, it's going to take a while. Could have, again, have to do with money, could have something to do with energy, could have something to do with any, whatever you consider a resource. So I find that very, very interesting. So if your soul is like, oh my gosh, I want to give, I want to do more, there might be something preventing you from actually doing that. Very interesting. Okay, what else? What is challenging this week? We have Warrior, Be Fearless, and Stand Strong. Oh no, I love this card, but I don't love it in this slot. So it might be a challenge. So Be Fearless and Stand Strong. Okay, so we're having issues with our Warrior archetype. That's all right, guys. Shake it off. It's just 1 week, okay? I'm sure next week will be better. But basically it's saying we're having an issue being strong this week. It feels really hard, whatever we're going through. This week has some difficult energy. I don't want to say chaotic, but it just feels like we're losing our patience. We're, losing our hope. And it's very challenging, and I don't love that. And I think, guys, if I'm not mistaken, it was either March's energy. It would make more sense if it was March's monthly energy, but it might have been the last week of February into this month. But there was some darkish type energy, some depression energy going on. I don't necessarily feel that here. Maybe that still might be an issue for some of you guys out there, but it's almost like it's like a powerless feeling, more so than like a depression type energy. So we're having issues stepping in our power, okay? And that's all right. We've had some power cards before, trickled in and out. It comes and goes. We have to understand the duality of life, right? Where 1 second we can be sad, and then the next second we can be joyful. We can be both at the same time, okay? So this is just we're having a little bit difficulties this week, being as, empowered, feeling empowered, and that's okay. Spirit is just letting us know. All right, change. What is changing? Protection. Okay, feeling like we're, that we're protected, feeling like we are, that somebody's got our back, or we've got our back, or the universe got our back, or all of the above. And so basically, this is basically saying that we feel more safe in our own bodies, in our own skin, in our own environment. There's something here that's changing. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that we've been getting a lot of energy that says we're moving into a more stable place. We also got that 44 up there that is foundation, right? That's also stability, right? Because foundation is stability, right? So basically this is saying that we're feeling more safe. We're feeling more, we can say stable, right? And we kind of already knew that because, like I said, we've got that in the previous energy, but I'm just so glad that we're definitely feeling that change this week for sure. I love that. Okay. What do we need to focus on? No place like home. Okay. Feeling like we are, there might be some homesickness going on here. There might be some nostalgia stuff kind of coming up. Focus on that. You guys know I'm not, an astrologist, but I do follow the astrology and the numerology, as you know, because a lot of these energies that I pick up really coincide with what's going on in the planets, the stars, and the numbers. Okay, so I know we just entered on March 1st, I believe, Aries retrograde? Nope. See, you guys, I'm not an astrologist, but we definitely entered, Venus retrograde. And I know things can feel backwards, and I definitely feel this energy of like thinking, retrograde sometimes brings back old people, old feelings, old anything that, pertaining to nostalgia, as I mentioned. So there might be things that are coming up, and it's not right, it's not wrong, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just, it's under focus. So basically it's saying give it your attention, okay? If these things are coming up, they're coming up for a reason, and just give them your attention. Am I saying if an ex comes back, take them back? That's not what I'm saying. But in my opinion, there might be unresolved things going on there, unresolved closure, or whatever it actually is. Something is unresolved. So there's a reason Spirit is asking us to focus on it. So, yeah, there's not too much more I could say about that. I think that's pretty clear. Reflect. Okay, we have Liberator in the shadow, imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. Okay, so this is about not feeling free. Pretty sure we've got similar energy in the past. So basically it's reflecting on what makes you not feel free. What does freedom mean to you? These are all good journal prompts, by the way. How do you keep yourself stuck, right? I'm not talking regular stuck, right? I'm talking about, things that maybe you have control over, because some things we don't have control over, some things we do, okay? So it's important to know the difference. Just reflect on what makes you not feel free. And again, your relationship to freedom. I think that's a really, really good, journal prompt. Okay, responsibilities. Moon, take note of intuitive messages. Interesting, especially since we had the thinker card and the action needed. So it says responsibilities, take note of intuitive messages. Moon is always about using your intuition. So it's your responsibility to use your intuition. Now, I just mentioned duality already, okay? So that's fine, okay? Some things you need to take action on this week that require your more logic, but it's also your responsibility to use intuition, right? So an example would be if all of your logic says the best place for you to retire, for example, because you can afford it and it fits everything kind of like on your list, is in, I don't know, say Florida. But intuitively, you just feel like that you wouldn't be happy there because, and not so much that the cons outweigh the pros, but they're just, you've been there before, you didn't feel the vibe, right? This is talking about vibes too, and it doesn't make sense to you on an intuitive level. So there is no shame, and this is really how you should do it, in my opinion, is to use both logic and intuition, okay? Because that's also your responsibility here. So I love that we have these two things going on. Okay. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other is basically what Spirit is saying. All right, money, finances, and career. We have fragility. Ooh, I don't love that. Okay, so money, finances, and career. So fragility means could break apart easily. Could fracture easily. So sometimes it could be, an accident proneness. Kind of energy. So it's under money, finances, and career. So this is basically saying be careful. I think this is what it's saying, is just be careful. I wouldn't kind of go out of the ordinary for work, meaning I would tread lightly is maybe another way to say it when it comes to work, or not push buttons or push boundaries. Because it definitely does feel like more type fragile energies kind of going on here. So if you wanted to push limits, or you wanted to do something, push boundaries or something like that, go above and beyond, for example, it's probably not the best week to do it. Again, you guys, speaking of intuition, use your own intuition with this. But it definitely does feel like there might be something like on shaky ground. Maybe this is a week that you hear rumblings of them cutting funding for your department or something, and you're wondering if you're even going to have a job. I don't know what the outcome is, but that would definitely fit into that type of energy. I'm not saying that it is that, but that's an example. Another example would be if you're investing and there's a risky stock that you want to buy, a risky move that you want to make. this does not fare well with that. So just, tread lightly. Again, use your intuition, but this would be an example for that. So just be careful with that. It's probably not the best week to make extreme risk in this area of your life. Just be, you might have to walk on eggshells, but it definitely does feel temporary. Okay, surprise, peace. Okay, we love that. So, I don't know, that kind of makes me think like, what is the rest of the week? Chaotic, but I don't feel any chaotic energy. I didn't even say it for the warrior up there in the challenge, but we might find a sense of peace in a small moment. Or we might be having, this week and maybe it feels like things aren't coming together, but you have a small moment of peace, right? So, and I'm saying small because it does feel kind of minor. And it does feel like, obviously it's like under surprise, so it might kind of come out of nowhere. But there is going to be like this underlying like peace going on. And I think it might have something to do with the protection, this, the safety, the stability, because that does bring people peace, right? Safety is linked to more calm energy, right? Feeling protected makes you feel more peaceful and more calm. And so I definitely do think it has something to do with that. It is under it there. So I love that. So you might be just feeling like, I think this is good for everybody's nervous systems. Maybe you just feel your nervous system just like, the anxiousness turns down a notch. And let me tell you, that's really, really positive thing, I would say, for sure. Okay, friends. Upside down, slave, giving you willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Okay, so this is about feeling like you don't have a choice, feeling like you're put under pressure, feeling like you're being controlled. So you might feel that way within your friend group or, an acquaintance or a friend or coworkers or something. But I definitely do feel like the people that you're surrounding yourself with might make you feel a little constricted. This might have something to do with the upside down liberator and the reflect. Okay, so you might want to reflect on maybe the people you surround yourself with. They don't necessarily make you feel free, right? And they make you feel in these ways, controlled. Why is the word escaping me? Feeling like you don't have a choice, making you just feel bogged down. Sorry, I don't know if that's like a good way to say it, but I'm trying to interpret this energy here. But it definitely does feel that way, where we feel like maybe somebody is maybe someone in our friends group is holding us back, and they don't make us feel as free, or maybe there's something there that makes us feel like we're tethered to them. Right? And we want to be more free. So guys, it almost feels like we might be having an urge to seek more, go out of the usual friend group, meet new people, that kind of thing. Even though so far, I know we're not done with the reading, but I'm not necessarily feeling overly social energy or anything like that. So it might just be a feeling, right? An intuitive message, right? Listen to your intuition. Of saying like, maybe I should branch out a little bit, right? I'm not feeling so hot and, in my, I'm not feeling so great. I'm not feeling so appreciated, where I am, or I'm not feeling much growth. That could just be it too, right? Or I'm just not feeling much freedom is another thing. Okay. Very interesting. All right. Romantic connection. We have Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. I think we got this last time too. Connect with your emotions, romantic connections. Okay. I love that. So basically it's saying, talk about how you feel. Figure out how you feel, first of all, so you can be able to articulate it. Like, we need some good emotional intelligence going on here, and it looks like we do, right, within our romantic connection. So I love that. There's not much more I can say here, but it looks good in the romance department this week. What's important? Distraction. Okay, it's important to... So this is... Wow. Okay, so very differing energies going on here that I haven't necessarily felt before. This is actually saying it's not a bad thing to be distracted. It's giving off the energy of like, it's not a bad thing, it's kind of like a positive thing to be distracted. So it's important that you pay attention to the distractions, because they might improve your life or bring success in some way, shape, or form. I'm trying to think of how this energy would fit into an example. because usually distractions have a negative connotation to it, but this is kind of the energy of saying, and I've said it before, if anybody knows what shiny object syndrome is, it's basically like, my people with ADHD know, and which I believe I have it. You see one thing and you get distracted and you do that, and then you see another thing and then you go see, you go to the other shiny object. This is basically saying, like, follow the shiny objects. Okay, it's important to pay attention to the shiny objects. There might be some hidden gems, some success, something important there. So definitely pay attention. Use your intuition with it, right? And your logic if you want. But, both of them together is a good combination. But this is saying don't discount the distractions. Interesting. Guys, again, I would love if you guys would put down below how this may resonate with you as you're listening to it. If you guys happen to, the best way to do this is listen to it in the beginning of the week and the end of the week. If you're listening to it at the end of the week, let me know down below how this appeared for you, because I would love to hear it. Because this is some I know I say interesting all the time, but it is interesting. Okay. Interesting to me is indifferent, right? Because it's not, it's just kind of out of the ordinary. Okay. Health and wellness. Okay, we haven't gotten this one in a while. A leg up. This means advantageous energy. So I love this. Health, wellness. So whatever journey you're on, whether it's a mental health journey, whether it's a spiritual awakening journey, whether it's a physical journey as I'm going through, you have an advantage in that way. This might be somebody will help you take advantage of something, or there's something on your side that isn't usually on your side. I don't know, an example I can think of off the top of my head is maybe you do need to get a surgery done, maybe it's like an elective surgery and you just got a new job with really great health insurance, so it's like take advantage of your health insurance and do the surgery now. Take off time of work now to do the elective surgery. Okay, so that's, guys, I'm pulling at straws, I know, but that's the best I can come up with. So that's what it means. It's saying take advantage, okay? If you have and this is also another way to kind of say, like, if you have a privilege, take advantage of that privilege, okay? So, again, privilege is not a bad thing, all right? It's when we don't acknowledge that privilege as a bad thing, but a negative thing. But it's basically saying take advantage of whatever is available to you, whether that's like nepotism or a friend of a friend, or that can help you do something or whatever, or you have health insurance that covers, again, an elective surgery. Go for it. When are you ever going to have such good insurance like that, So anyway, think that way. But it's a very positive thing here. Okay. All right. Overall outcome. Gambler. Okay. Willingness to follow intuition. Look at that. Even when others doubt you. Okay. All right. So this is actually, the gambler is about taking risks. So I will say it's under overall outcome. Overall, it's good to take risks. However, money, finances, and career, I think would be the only, just because we got this card here, okay, and I'm not going to discount it, I would kind of ease into that and just be aware, okay? But, taking risk in this area, at least for this week, okay? That's all I have to say. Maybe, the week, maybe bleeding into the next week, meshing into the next week, maybe not. But this is basically saying that it's, if you follow your intuition and if you follow your logic too, you will be able to move forward and be able to take healthy risks, okay? Because this feels like an unhealthy risk right here in money, finances, and career. And, but again, this is basically saying overall, use your intuition. If you feel like there's a risk that you need to take here, go ahead and take it. You guys are the creators of your own life and of your own reality, so do what you need to do. But this is basically about trusting yourself, in my opinion. It's not necessarily about taking the risk. It's about trusting yourself. So there is this energy of gambling on yourself, taking a chance, right? Which I love, because this also kind of signifies that, like, this is a luxury in a way, right? Where maybe we haven't. So think about it in the way of, like, let's talk about gambling, actual gambling, right? if you have $1,000 to lose, right, because you're doing well in life and you have the money to do it, and you go and gamble that $1,000 and you lose it, it's okay. You're gonna survive. You're gonna pay your bills this week. You're gonna, all those things. And so it's like a healthy risk. That's the difference. Okay. And if you were in survival mode, which would be having a hard time paying your bills, scraping by, that kind of thing, that's not a healthy risk, in my opinion. That's basically a real risk. or not what Spirit is saying, basically. So this is saying, if you could take a healthy risk, take a healthy risk. Okay, and so and go for it. And I think that's where the energy is also changing, in addition to be feeling more stable, which I think is you're more stable financially, so that's why you're able to gamble that $1,000. You understand? So yeah, okay. Anyway, hopefully you guys understand that. If you don't, you can ask questions down below. I will do my best. I try to interpret the energy. Guys, this is my first time reading it. Like, I didn't look at these cards beforehand, so I read on camera. So thank you for dealing with how I interpret these crazy energies that are coming through, especially ones that we haven't had in a while, for sure. So, okay, guys, I think it's going to be a good week. I think it's going to be a pretty positive week. We've got some things. If I could say anything red flag, I would say right here, money, finances, and career. But again, use your intuition, use your logic compared with it. I don't necessarily, maybe this is a yellow flag down here with friends. I just think maybe it might push you a little bit out of your comfort zone, maybe needing to connect with more people or network a little bit more. And I would also include that as a yellow flag here with, feeling kind of powerlessness, which isn't a great feeling. I do not like it myself. Obviously, I don't think anybody likes it, but it's just going to feel a little challenging. Again, might be attached to like lack of patience, might be, attached to some hopelessness. But I feel like there's nothing that we can't handle. And like I said, it definitely feels more yellow flag up there. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.